Oh boy, we got a juicy one today, ladies and gentlemen.
Wake me up inside. Wake me up inside.
So you may have heard of a man by the name of Jake Paul. He's a pretty successful YouTuber who now seems to have found himself in some trouble with the authorities of Calabasas, California. If you haven't heard of him, he's a vlogger, a rapper, a former Disney Channel star, a self-proclaimed businessman, and overall pretty terrible person. He's pretty well known for making content aimed towards kids and using things like controversies and feuds to boost his views and fan base. So basically, he's the definition of a hack. Also, he calls his fan base the Jake Paulers.
The Jake Paulers are the strongest army out there, Dab.
I aspire to have the creativity this man does. And just to show you how much of an ass this guy is, here's just a couple of things he has done, all in the name of views, money, and being a dumbass. Sharing Post Malone's address in a video, i.e. doxing him, which I believe is illegal. Acting like a complete tool on the news.
I have one question for you.
Yeah?
What are those?
Setting fire to one of his teammates' mattresses. Being racist to fans.
Where are you from?
I'm from Kazakhstan originally, but
It sounds like you're just gonna blow someone up.
thank you so much.
You're like, send the nuke.
Surprising his friend with porn star Riley Reid in a video in which she basically strips and gives him a lap dance. Did I mention that he makes content aimed towards kids? And most recently, throwing a giant party at his house in the middle of a fucking pandemic. And that is just grazing the surface. That's just a couple things that he has done. But earlier this week, Mr. Paul seems to have gotten himself into some serious trouble because his house got fucking swatted. Now, before we proceed, full disclosure, all the information I will be giving today comes from this article that I found by the New York Times, which I will be linking in the description in case you want to read it for yourself. The FBI executed a search warrant early Wednesday morning at the California home of Jake Paul, a brash YouTube provocateur who was recently criticized for hosting a large house party during the pandemic, according to the agency. Provocateur. That's one hell of a way to say asshole. From now on, anytime someone's being a dick to me, I'm just going to tell them, hey bro, can you stop being such a provocateur right now? The search of Mr. Paul's residence in Calabasas, northwest of Los Angeles, was conducted as a part of an investigation, said Rucklet Dalberis? Sorry bro, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Helicopter footage from ABC7 Los Angeles showed the authorities carrying firearms from the house and loading them into an SUV. Sounds to me like our boy Jakey has found himself into a little drug business. Maybe he was a savage after all.
Some people say I'm a savage too.
Why do you say that?
There's a Breaking Bad joke in there somewhere. Breaking Paul, no. Jaking Bad, no. I got it. It's every day, bitch. That or he just owns guns, but it's way more fun to think of it that way. Mr. Paul's representatives did not immediately respond to requests for comment on Wednesday. I really wish there was more information about the event, but it kind of just stops there. The article goes on to talk about other problems that he's gotten in with the authorities, specifically the party that I mentioned earlier. Last month, he hosted a large day-long party in his Calabasas home where guests did not wear masks or observe social distancing guidelines as they swung from construction machinery. I mean, cool, but like, why? Mr. Paul told Insider, however, that he had no plans to stop partying and that he was, quote, not the type of person who's going to sit around and not live my life. Now, typically, I'd say that's a stupid thing to say, 'cause it is. But from Jake Paul, I would expect nothing less than utter disregard for not only his life, but the people around him, all for the sake of living his life. Dude. You know you can chill, right? Like you don't have to have a party every 5 minutes to be living your life. You're not gonna die if you don't have a party. In fact, right now, you're more likely to die if you do. In June, Mr. Paul was charged with trespassing an unlawful assembly after he entered a mall in Scottsdale, Arizona that was being looted. His videographer filmed Mr. Paul handling a stolen bottle of vodka amid the looting and posted the footage to social media. I don't want to get political here because the looting can be seen in multiple different lights. But dude, why are you looting? You, a white, straight millionaire. No one has stolen shit from you. So why are you stealing it back? Because at the end of the day, that's kind of what the looting was all about. Symbolically taking back what has been stolen from you for generations. Not that lamps at Target were stolen from people, but it's the symbolism. At least that's one way to look at it. But I digress. Moving on. On Wednesday, the charges against Mr. Paul and 2 other men were dismissed without prejudice, according to the Scottsdale Police Department. Best interest in the community. Police officials said that they retained the option to refile charges depending on the outcome of the federal investigation. If there's any parents out there watching that have kids in middle school or lower, chances are your kids watch this guy. Do what you will with that information. But that's pretty much all I have for you today, folks. Sorry this video wasn't as funny as the last one. This topic was just way too interesting for me not to talk about. I'm going to try and follow the story as much as I can. If there's any major updates, I'll probably try and make another video. But until then, I guess we'll just have to see. Hello, my children. It is I, your father, God. No, I'm just kidding. It's me, Sean. Anyways, so I was in the middle of editing this video, and I saw The Independent released an article that was basically like an update to this whole situation. And in the article, they basically stated that Jake Paul has broken social media silence, which he didn't really fucking say anything. But it basically shows that he didn't get arrested. And also it said that the FBI have confirmed that the reason that they raided his house was because of his connection with being involved in the riots and the looting. Personally, this doesn't really make any sense to me because I don't see why being involved in a riot would incite a raid of your house. But that's what it says. So, Sentient Sean is out. Until then, I'm gonna have to say adios, amigos. Oh, real quick, before you leave, I just want to say, if you're new here or you don't know me, I make music. It's under the name Lazy Boy, spelt LA-ZZ Boy. But I'm going to be releasing an EP really soon. There's no set date yet because it's all still in the works, but I'm really hoping for the next month or so, hopefully Labor Day weekend, but no promises, but fingers crossed for Labor Day weekend. Keep an eye out for that if you're interested. The links to all my socials and my music and all that shit will be in the description, and that's pretty much it. Peace.